Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Here we go, becoming human. Just gonna give everyone a minute to log on. You always know there's a delay.
There's always a delay.
There's always a delay.
There's
So,
always a delay. Here
when you
comes
hear
my
say
husband.
hello, so we know that you're here. It's gonna be so great.
Thank you.
Okay, we're all getting settled.
We are.
Should
Thank
I
you,
say
darling.
for breakfast or lunch? I guess now.
It's tea time here.
Right. We're back on the 5-hour switcheroo, right?
Yeah.
We were 4 hours for a while, and that was crazy. Hi, Terry. Hi.
He can't hear you.
Oh, right, because you got the head.
You can be seen. Just leave the dog. If she wants to come out, I'll let her out.
Thank you all for joining. Say hello when you're here. If you would like to give StreamYard part of your soul, have your name. Otherwise, just sign. We've got the list started. We're really we're really going to hold one more spot. I think we're going to do 5. This is so deep. So I think we're going to do 5 today. And then, so if somebody is feeling the call, and then we'll do this again hold for another 5 instead of trying to like, hi, Simon, trying to get everybody squished in. We really wanted to take time and make sure that this is the foundational work for your journey is becoming human. This is going to be a multi-part series. It's just kind of unfolding as it is. We're just calling it in as it comes through. So we're at part 1. This is the foundational clearing and healing. So, hi Pia, yay!
It's Pia.
So perfect. So the most important part about coming to Earth is for our story is being a human and experiencing a human life, and really about that. So part 1, we're going to be calling in our keepers, which Kayleigh is going to talk a little bit more in detail about that. So right now we'll be working in the lower chakra system, pretty much from your solar plexus down, really making sure you're plugged into the earth, allowing you more communication, just better draining, allowing the earth to really take what's not needed, and for you to also pull up what you need from the earth as well. So there's equal exchange there. I'm very much like a tree. We're basically trees that can move. So we're able to take this energy on the planet and put it in other places to help keep her balanced, which is so beautiful. So if there are certain places outside that call to you, I definitely recommend after this to go and visit them sometime this week. We'll be giving codes from source directly to help with just kind of the ascension of all of us and ensuring that we are just in a really good space, and really getting back in our bodies. Many of us don't live in our bodies most of the time due to trauma. If you just happen to be high vibrational frequency, you don't live in the present moment. If you're really stuck in the past or kind of stuck in the future, the what ifs, I'm really there. So if you have a lot of high anxiety in that way, just help move through grief and all of that. This is all about becoming human and enjoying the human life experience. So if you do feel called, we are holding space for one more. You can donate at paypal.me/SaiYunaste. The donation is $88.88. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. We're just really honored and grateful to be able to do this work, and we thank you all so much for putting your trust and love in us as we do this. So yeah, this is so great. So Kayleigh, would you like to kind of chat a little bit more about the keepers?
Okay, so what was it, like a month or 2 ago, I was doing some work on my husband, which he consented to. It wasn't like I didn't. And he basically had all this issue with his shoulders, and he's holding a lot of pain in his shoulder. And I was doing Reiki on him, and he was laid down, and I was doing it, and he fell asleep. And as I was working on him, obviously my guides are always there around me. I have the wonderful Grieg who comes in, and thank you, darling. Comes in and speak of the devil when he turns up. So I had all these Grieg there, who is my Reiki guide when I'm doing that work, and I had all these wonderful things. And as I was there, I just had these 2 guys come up to me. One was like in 70s hippie wear, and there was another one that was he had like 1940s kind of clothes or air about him, and they were just stood there on my shoulders, and I was like, oh, okay, who are you? And they went, we're his keepers. So so from what I gather with them from them, these are people that are there that kind of are there the whole time, maintaining your system, making sure that no one can interfere with your energy in any way that you don't consent to, because it was only once he fell asleep that they kind of turned up, like, oh well, he's not aware anymore, we're maintaining that, his protection. And they're there all the whole time. Then they're somewhere between guardian angels and spirit guide, and they're just kind of sat there, keeping your aura, keeping your space, keeping you and your energy looked after and maintained and protected, almost like gatekeepers in a way. And yeah, just getting in touch with them was amazing. So yeah, I mean, they can take any form from what I can gather, but we'll see what everybody's keepers are like. But yeah, it was an amazing thing, because I just come off and went, what what was that? So yeah, and it was really nice, and they were human, and you don't often get human. We deal with galactics all the time, or we deal with angels all the time, so to have a kind of human form keeping us safe, it was really nice. It was nice to have that as a change, or to experience that.
Yeah, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. So Kayleigh's going to be working directly with them. I'll be giving a nod and allowing them to do what they do so well together. I will be working directly with each individual's body elemental and system, just to ensure that we're really, I received a download this morning on how to build a structure for our big boss, Metatron. And I know he's not really a boss. He's like, I am not a boss. And I was like, you're so cute. I just like to say that because it makes you uncomfortable. It's great. And really just helping us structure ourselves as human beings and to return the strength within, right, and really get into the body. So Pia, we're going to start with you, and we're just going to get into it. And, you know, please feel free to share in the comments. And there'll be other messages and for other people. So this is really it. So if you're feeling called, we do have space for one more, and then we'll be doing this again at another time. This is really, thank you all for saying yes to this. It's just such an honor. Okay, you ready? Great. Okay, Pia, we're just going to tune in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. First and foremost, there's just a lot of congratulations from your team, and specifically your body elemental. It's hard being human, and you've done a majestic job at it. And to just really enjoy that, there's recently, and you know, there's just been a lot of emotions coming through, and that's like really, really, and this is so part of your journey as a human being, is to really tune into those emotions, and to experience them and to transmute them for yourself, and to really get to the root core of each emotion as it comes through. So it does not surprise me if you feel every human emotion very intensely, or on the opposite, sometimes you don't feel it at all, because it is too much to your body. What your body elemental is saying to me is that sometimes it's just turned off to help keep your system protected, because it's such an overload. So what we'll be doing today is we're structuring the bottom, really working with the Earth Star to make sure that that part of you is really plugged in deliciously into the whole matrix of that, and allowing to be really connected to Earth. And so as we go through each, so first it'll kind of be like fire and air element and elementals coming through to really just kind of remove what's no longer needed, what's no longer serving you, allowing that in. And then we'll have water and earth come through to really help just cleanse. And then earth, of course, and those elementals will really help just kind of like pack in and put things in. And these could be codes and different parts of the actual earth codes, right? We have these soul codes. We have all different kinds of codes. But these will be earth codes for you to really just help connect in to the humanness of yourself. I'm hearing that this will help with communicating. And the structure that's being built is like, it's going to give a really nice security. You'll notice a lot as you're sitting down. I'm feeling like when you sit, they're just showing But that's really where your brain is going to notice the most change. And this will allow you to really be able to sit in your body and be in it and allow things to really flow. It will also give your brain a new task on becoming human and on really like, what's that like? What does that feel like? What is the sense like? And what the body really is. This is really very much you coming into your body. So I'm also hearing too that breath work will be really good for you as well. So looking into, you could do very intense breath work like Wim Hof, or you could do a more gentle breath work that you really just knowing your body and what it needs. But air for you is the sign, the element that we'll be working with directly after the fire. That's really going to be like where that is. And so we'll build that structure up, just really working in your system to just kind of remove that fear of the unknown and the unpredictability of humans, and just allow you to tune more into that, to be able to kind of almost have like a precog moment, so your brain has time to facilitate the reaction of what energy is coming at you from other humans, right? Because the animals are very direct, humans aren't so much. Okay, great. I'm going to mute myself and go ahead and do that work.
So as I'm in with your keepers, the first one that stepped forward for you was this this big, happy, she was very jovial, buxom lady. And she has this strawberry blonde hair that she has braided down. And she has this brown smocky, like beigey smocky kind of top on, very strong. And all she keeps on about is needing apples for whatever reason that is. So whether that's there's medicine in apples or you need to eat more apples. That's what she told me. um, and then with her is this kind of dog, this somewhere between a golden lab and some sort of golden German shepherdy kind of dog, who walks around you or beside you with this woman, this buxom woman. I didn't get a name for her. And then she just took me to this beach with these water, these gentle waves were coming and they were slightly building. And I was told that emotions do keep coming along and they keep shifting the sand and things keep being risen and just filtered and frittered. Like things keep coming up and then they keep coming up. And if you want that, it's almost like you need to be harnessing your fire element, your creativity, your passion, allowing more of um, that lower, which very much comes from the root chakra and the sacral chakra, that creativity, that base need. What do you need? And listening to your body of what you need, in order to give you, if you want to stop the sand shifting all the time, if you want to have some form of stability when emotions come rocking up, to forge it, because when we take sand, we forge it into glass with fire. So that there's, if you want more solid feeling, it's about really getting in touch with those lower chakras, having sensation experiences, if that, whether that's tasting things, bringing things into your body, especially like you say, I love apples. So being in an apple and just taking that time to really taste the apple, and to go through that experience. It sounds really mundane to eat an apple, but to be in that and to feel how the sensations that come with having an apple, or if you're walking on the sand, how does it feel between your toes? It's very much bringing you into your body and into that moment of what it is you're experiencing. The second keeper that came in for you was this young farmer who had just had this straw hat on, and he's kind of leaning on this post, like, yeah, I'm working on the field. Um, and he was there to remind you of investing some time and commitment into practical skills, that you would do with your hands, that can be a form of therapy. So that could be, he said, whittling or carving, taking the time to learn how to carve or to do something. Now, I don't know if that's specifically with wood or whether that's some sort of form of art with like lino cutting or something like that, but having some form of carving and taking the time to really think about how you're putting your mark into that, whatever it is you're trying to carve and work with. I was also shown that you could possibly either get a skin drum or learn how to make skin drums, and that for you a really good skin to have on that drum would be goat. And then he kept showing me this beat that was really fast, jumpy paced, a bit like a kid goat on a mountainside, going kick kick. And it was very fast and staccato kind of beat with that. So I don't know if that's something that you can look into or be working on, but drum work and having that, being in the beat and feeling the beat and being in that moment with that, drumming may be good for you. And with the goat, again, there's probably medicine in it being goat. Very they have a burst of energy, and then they're very in the moment when they're moving around and doing things. So yeah, that's what I had from the keepers, your keepers. Yeah, and they were amazing. Loved them.
Did you say there was a dog?
There was a dog, and it
Oh,
was kind of a
like
not a golden lab, but like a more like a darker. You know when they get older and they get a bit darker than the blonde, like a dirty blonde kind of color to it.
Yeah, I had that gold come through, that color. So then when you said dog, I kind of like was able to tune in, and I definitely saw like a dog shape, which was really great. So we really went in and we just really set your system up, really opened and plugged you into the Earth Star, your own system, like your system into the Earth. What I also heard coming out of that, I had a whisper of really, because you kind of stepped forth and were watching me do work, right? Because you want to help heal other people and heal yourself that well. So you have all of that. So I just downloaded that into your system. So you can use it as a maintenance. You can sit with yourself and really work on yourself in that way, allowing yourself to see the structure that has been built, and then you can tailor it to how it fits the best for you. That's part of a deep work that'll really help you get connected. I'm really seeing roots come into from your feet into the ground and feeling how that feels in that way. Yeah. Yeah, okay. The Fae really want to work with you. I'm just going to say that because they're just kind of like sitting over here watching, and they really want to get involved just to help bring up that vibe. But you feel really good. You feel really steady. I definitely, I don't know if Kayleigh said this, but I'm getting from the keepers that showed up, they really want to be super involved in this. Was that, I'm sorry, I was like so in my zone.
They care, they're invested. That farmer is there. He was at apprentice stage, so he's really committed to doing whatever you need to tend to well, that's what they do, right? The apprentice farmer, they learn about the conditions, what works for you, what doesn't, and then they bring in all their knowledge and wisdom, and they learn phase over phase over phase. So you kind of have this woman who's been there a while, and it's almost like she has this apprentice farmer who's very committed earth energy, because I feel like that's what you're working on, this earth element, making that more stable, more grounded.
Okay, perfect. Because there was a lot of earth that came through. The fire went through really quick. The air and the water, that was all. But and here I am thinking it's
very earthy.
It's very earthy. Like they really are, really wanting you to helping you step into this human body. So really saying, Earth is a great place to be. I love being a human. Those are some fun mantras to use. I use them every day. Earth is a great place to be. It's a wonderful place to be, and I love
wonderful place to be.
Allow it to sit in. Overall, I felt like your core is a lot stronger in that way, but there was definitely, they kind of put like almost like just a I don't know, like a tube, kind of like two pieces that came together just to help hold that stability. So it wasn't like going out everywhere, it was going just up and down from source. The codes that came in were really working with the elementals. I saw a lot of tree magic, so I don't know if you're speaking to trees, but definitely that is, beach and water and all of that is really good. It feels good. So just know this is a process. This is just the beginning. This is the clearing and foundational work. There is that element of letting go of maternal events And just when you're ready to let that go, like grief is, there's no time, right? But when you're ready, that'll really help, just help you move forward, because there is that desire to move forward, but there is that part of letting go of the past, and blessing it, and going from there. And that will really, it's going to be emotional. But your core is set for that, to hold you steady.
I think that's why they made that sand forge into glass, so that it is steady for when harder waves come in.
Yeah. Really beautiful.
You don't shift too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely connecting deeper with the trees too. They're really good about weathering the storm.
You can find fun little dryads in there as well. If you knock on them, the elementals come out.
Yeah.
And they'll sit and talk to you. But if you are going to talk to trees, go and visit it one week and go back the next week, because they're really slow at talking and processing. So they will give you a message a week later.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like meet and greet, ask the question, go away.
And come back.
You come back. Perfect. Yeah. You're really, it's good. You're bringing all the elements together, right? Within yourself, as you do with all of that. So yeah, just keep saying yes to yourself. Yeah. Yeah, you can learn all that if you want. Okay, great. Spectacular. Thank you so much. Got Mike next. Love you, Pia. Thank you. This is really kind of coinciding with what's been going on. So your elemental is really asking to really concentrate on your actual body, on your organs and your digestive system, and really doing a clearing for that. So that'll be fun for you later. There's going to be a lot of release in that, because your system itself is really good. So this is going to be more of working specifically with your entire digestive system in that. Also, there are some blueprints in your appendix area that we'll be pulling out and activating, which will help open up just more a connectiveness to your other parts of you. But this going forward, so there's just some stuff in your knees, I think, that we're really going to concentrate on too. Is that what you're saying to me? Yeah, okay. Just to help move through this. But really this is all of this that's kind of like being held in your belly, like that fire. I was just going to kind of dissipate, so you can really just allow it to come through. And it's almost like you're going to be giving part of what you do when you transmute is giving fire to the earth. So I'm really just going to be charging up that solar plexus area and allowing you to the emotions that you feel. Yay! Hi, Leanne. Everybody's here. This is so great. Thank you all so much for joining. Really getting in there and doing that. So I'll be channeling your body elemental. It's like you want to do work on yourself. So I'm just going to be the channel for that. To just kind of sit back and relax. If you have any of your animals around you, that's so perfect. They'll help with that too. They really want to be a part of that. Right. And we'll talk about that in the next one. There'll be so what they're saying to me, what you're saying to me, your body elementals, there's going to be codes that when you connect with Leanne that will activate each other. So I'll be giving you half of them and she'll get the other half in there. And that'll help your forward motion in the 3D world to really just like enjoy. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start. Do you have anything else? Buckle up. Here we go.
Okay. For me, with your keepers, yours were really interesting. The first one's really cool. I could stay with him all day. So you have this Middle Eastern guy who he's very in the Middle Ages, not Middle Ages, Tudor times, so like the 1500s, 1600s, that sort of time. They had the Moors who had all the spirit and the medicine, and they had all the science, and they kept all the so it was like the Middle East and all the Egyptian medicine and the Babylonian medicine all came across the Moors with the Ottoman Empire, and it's that kind of he feels like he's from that kind of time with the Ottoman Empire, and he has this wonderful white and red outfit, which to me is very similar to magician's outfit in tarot. So we have this pure intention and this passion and this will and this drive, and he very much sits around your root chakra. So whenever you feel tense, you don't have to really worry that you're not protected, because he's kind of around you with this amazing saber kind of sword, which he has there gently on his hip, tied to his hip with this wonderful red scarf that's kind of tied to his hip. And he is quite happy to protect you. He's around you. So if you feel anxious or fearful in any way, you can absolutely call this guy in, because he feels like he's there to maintain your boundaries and to help you maintain protection around you. If you feel like you need protection, and not just for you, but for others around you, you can send him out to go and help. Those that are nearest and dearest, you just can't send him out willy-nilly. It has to be somebody that's close to you, and they will absolutely protect you. Um, he gave me for you a sapphire, a blue sapphire, and it really was the deepest blue. It wasn't like the ones that you generally see that are perhaps a little bit lighter or whatever. This was the deepest blue, indigo kind of sapphire. And he also gave a desert rose crystal. So I don't know whether that's worth looking at um, the properties of those two crystals. I know sapphire, there's a lot of power in about language and speaking. So don't fear the power of your words. You do have a lot of power in your voice. So, and when it's deeper, it tends to mean there's more heavier energies there that can be called upon. So you have very strong depth of power within your communication area. The second guy I had was this kind of sailor guy, who was just quite happy to be out on the oceans. And he was quite happy to remind you that your emotions may fluctuate, but like a ship, you will always manage to find balance and navigate whatever is coming in. There isn't a storm you can't weather. He did have a message. He had this anchor. So I don't know if there's a time where sometimes you may feel overwhelmed by emotions, and if you need to absolutely get some sort of anchoring, whether that's someone that can just allow you to witness and feel your emotions, and they just help you ground, so that you know that there's someone that can pull you back in, or make you feel safe, so you can navigate and investigate those emotions or feelings or things that come up from that deep blue, that comes up that maybe needs voices spoken to it, whether that's past trauma or grief or worries or fears, whatever it is. So sometimes when I get an anchor, sometimes that's like finding a counselor or just somebody to speak to, but it doesn't have to be a counselor. You can absolutely find someone that you just feel safe with, who allows you to go and navigate those feelings and worries. He also told me to tell you that there is a difference between sirens and mermaids, and that mermaids are they can be playful and fun, but it's the sirens that are the real tricksters. So to confuse, they look very similar, but the sirens are the ones to be wary of. I don't know if you've come across sirens or anything like that. But then it was taken back to a Greek life. So I don't know if there's this Greek past life where you were a sailor or you were sailing and you came across these sirens. So I don't know whether it's worth looking in the Greek mythology to see if there's some sort of message for you in there. But there's possibly a Greek past life for you around kind of Jesus-y times, that the BCs, the very late, is it late or early? I get confused because the dates go backwards, but very much around the BCs, the small number BCs, I'd say 300 BC to the year .0. There was this Greek past life. There was this big olive branch, so there's probably a lot about olive branches and benevolence. I don't know if that's a benevolence on yourself, that you need more benevolence on yourself, but it could also be that there's oils within olives that maybe you need to nourish your system, that may be of benefit to you. Oh, Alison's transmuting a lot. There's a lot coming through. And for you, it was, whilst I was in there, it was very much about opening up that Earth Star Chakra a little bit, because it's like there's going to be this drainage that happens, that comes through, this clearing that comes through. And so you needed the more, a bigger butt or bigger roots, for want of a better description of what was needed. But they are very much around you. One is there to help you navigate your emotions, and the other one is to help you feel protected and secure and grounded and safe in that root chakra.
I think you said all the things that happened. The oils, I got that too. It's like so the first we went into your kidneys and we did all that. Really release it. There's a high probability that this week coming up, as you're going to get like flu-like systems, your body's going to go through this major detox. You're going to have a lot of release in your intestinal system. So enjoy that. I love you so much. Really, your pancreas was calling for more fruits and less refined sugar. So we just kind of put the codes in there for that. And there are, I've set your tantric codes to prepare for your manifestation portal with Leanne in that way. However that is, you both have half of it. So that's going to be a lot of root and sacral. So that's a lot of like the 3D world, really coming in and manifesting how you want your 3D life to look like, and what that means.
The more you can envision that in your third eye area and speak it, what that looks like, the more that comes into being.
Yeah. There's, so you have what you gave away to help others has now been returned to you. And that is stored actually right in your solar plexus, but it can travel to other places. So it's starting in your solar plexus to stoke the fire. And what this piece of you that has been returned, really, I mean, we've talked about this, has really changed so much and made so much more beautiful in the world. So that is going to actually help bring the fire through. So as you're absorbing this and you're having these emotions, pushing it right in, like you can even put your hands like on your belly and feel the flame. Like it's going to absorb all of that, because that's what it does. It absorbs. And that's going to push it into the earth to help give her the fire she needs. And so, and in turn for that, as it comes up, it'll be transmuted into just to more smoothness. So you'll have the emotions, but as you transmute and turn into fire, and like, I mean, it's going to create a lot of change on the planet, in a good way. Like specifically right around you, you're just going to notice where you go. It's just going to be, people are going to mention, they're going to be like, "Is this brighter today? Like, you guys notice this?" Because you're just going to clear out all the bullshit, and just create that energy. So
yeah, because when he walks into a room,
right,
he emanates energy.
right. And so this, now that this piece has been returned to you, game on. So have lots of fun with that. Really upping your manifestation. And that's tied into the readings we did with your pets earlier. So I'll send that over later today, so you really can see where, like, I'm really excited. So thank you so much. Next we have Leanne. And so I'll be doing the opposite of that. So when you two come together, that'll just activate, really kind of setting the stage and the foundation for you in your humanness to kind of open up to this delightful priestess. So within you, it carries, you have a very, you're a high priestess. So in that way that you have carry knowledge within, very there's a regalness about you. There's a don't F with me kind of way, because it just simply is not, right? You decide what it is. So this is really kind of opening up this foundation, the structure we're setting. I'm really coming into the manifestation of what you want in your life, especially together in that. So I'm actually going to do some additional work on your cosmic egg. So when you sleep, you can decide to go in there to nourish and heal. And they are super interested. Your body elemental is super interested in igniting your hands a bit. So to help just kind of move energy. I don't know if you've been feeling tingling in your hands or anything like that. That's tied directly to your heart and to your root. So we'll be in all of those places. I'm using those elements to just really open up and clear. We'll be removing some ancestral stuff that just no longer serves. So we're going to let the ancestors come in and really, on both sides, and really give their blessing to you. Using all fours is really going to clear. Yeah, this is like you've been thinking about this for a while. You've been mulling over. You're very wise. You don't just do because, right? Like you wait and you watch. So this is really just, so this is kind of like to give your brain and yourself the data that it needs to show that what's happening is true. And so just take what resonates and let the rest fall away. So I'll be working directly with that. When you're feeling called to have your soul language activated, if that hasn't already happened, that will really help move things along. Of course, that's at your own desired time. Everything happens in divine timing. You trusting yourself is just like a big celebration from your team. Just saying you've done such an amazing job at the movement as a human, and this is really just going to help kind of like really open up these lower chakras and really plug you in and just kind of use that divine feminine way to really help with the knowledge to really recreate that. And connecting in with your kundalini. It wants to be awakened. So I will give the codes for that and leave them there. And then when you're ready for that, so if you want to look and research a little bit more into the Kundalini awakening and all of that, you are partially awakened already, so it won't be as I like to call it traumatic, because it's like, wow, like, whoa. And then you're going to want to play all the time, which is so super great. But you're kind of already tuned into that just naturally as who you are. And something about hearts and ice cream. So I don't know what that's about, but they're saying hearts and ice cream, hearts and ice cream, hearts and ice cream, and they're saying, okay. So my hands are starting to itch, so I'm just gonna mute myself and go and let Kayleigh do her thing.
Okay. I only had one keeper come in for you. She is this sweet little girl who looks very frail, but is really not. She has this very, she's almost like albino with like translucent skin, very ethereal. It sounds weird, but she has like these wafts of, I can't describe it. It's a bit like those fish. They have those fins that waft. They're almost translucent, but you can just about see them. And she has this kind of energy around her that's like that. She has the finest, very finest, straight blonde hair. Very, very ethereal, very beautiful. So pale that you can almost see through her skin. It's very light just seems to shine off her, through her. I don't know. She's just very ethereal, absolutely beautiful. And she just screamed the Fae, and it's crystal Fae in particular, almost like high level Fae that comes in and around you. And they just showed me like everything was like very fine spider web, the finest silk spider web you could see. And with all these what looks like dew on it, but it's actually crystals. It's like they dance along the spider webs and leave crystals. So I don't know if you've seen, or you think you've seen something, and in the morning when there's dew on the grass or on the spider webs, or it's frosted on the spider webs, but that's Fey energy is very much around you, and they come around you in those early mornings when everything is quiet and peaceful and around and calm, or like in the winter when you feel isolated or cold or alone. They really do come in around you and look after you. This little girl told me several things that were around you. Something, you have a serpent guide around you that you can call on if you need to, and again, that's tied to your root chakra. Kundalini energy, but also there is this wisdom within you that as you evolve, it unlocks, as you shed former versions of yourself or whatever through I'm feeling compassion, that being compassionate to older versions of yourself. I was told to look into strawberries and crab apples. They just said specifically crab apples, those little ones that grow on a tree. I don't even know if they're actually edible. I think they are, but I'm not entirely sure. But I know crab apples are these little tight apples, and again, there's wisdom and magic in apples, and there's all these it has, if you cut it in half horizontally, you open it up, you have the pentacle, you have the balance of the elements within it. So maybe that's about you as you get grounded and evolve, and there is this evolution transition energy around you coming through. There was also strawberries, and I lost 3 days on the symbolism of strawberries. There is so much to strawberries, but again, it's very much sacral root energies. It's about sensuality, sexuality, having the fertility, and not just physical fertility, but bringing things into being, very much that sacral energy of things being planted in the cold, dark space of the womb. And then having things being born. It's having that portal within your sacral space where you can bring things into being, create things coming through. And I was given 2 flowers, poppy and dandelion, and with the poppy, there was the opiate side of it, where there was pain relief. So I was feeling pain in your right shoulder, at the more the bottom of the right shoulder rather than in the joint. And that is you carrying some form of shadow work to unlock and undo. And it's funny because I had the high heart, and while I was in the high heart and the top of the lungs, I also saw an anatomical heart, and that's why I laughed when you said, well, I didn't laugh, but I just went, oh, when you said hearts and ice cream. So I don't know if ice cream is like that thing, isn't there, when you have heartbreak, that you go and eat a tub of ice cream with your friends, or do whatever you need in that moment to go and feel something that isn't just the pain. So the top of the lungs was quite dusty, so I feel like there's things that need to come out that may have been there a while, and they've whittled down to smaller things, but by doing some breath work or something, or talking about it, that it will take that out of your body in some way. And then the very last thing I was shown was this butterfly at the base of your spine, just spreading its wings out and just allowing the Kundalini, as you transform and evolve, your Kundalini just goes.
What color was that butterfly?
It was like a golden with red, golden, yellowy, mustardy color with red on it.
Yep, that butterfly was in their pet reading too.
Oh, was it? How weird.
Lorna saw it.
How weird.
That's
but
good.
Yeah, it was.
That's the why. We didn't know the why. Now we have it.
There you go.
I was knowing all the things already, and then that was amazing.
But yeah, that right shoulder is.
Yeah, your hands are on fire right now, so use that. Just go ahead and like what I was really called to tell you is you have amazing place empathy. So to touch your physical house and let it tell its story, and then take your other hand and put it like somewhere else on like the floor maybe, or just above you, and let it all that transmute. That'll help just open everything up. It's really amazing. Feels really good.
She's got beautiful energy.
Did you say like an ethereal being? Like she's.
Yeah.
You also say.
You know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Muppets Christmas Carol, like the girl of Christmas Past. Yeah. It was like that, but an actual whole human, not just.
Yeah. And the arachne came through, the silver. Did you say silver? Like I get so into it, I like try to listen. But as you were doing that, the arachne were coming through.
Crystal Fae.
And crystals on it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. That was on there. Okay.
Crystal
Cool.
Fae weaving on the web. They were
Yeah.
dancing on the spider web, so it might be that they're working together around her.
Yeah. So it's going to be very gentle for you. It's not like, but as you and might come together in your space, you're going to feel the electricity. And the codes will just connect and do it, and manifestation, and definitely connect with involve your pets too, right? That'll make more sense when I send you the reading.
It does feel very much like Mike's down here on the earthly.
Yeah,
Like,
and
she's up dancing along with the ethereal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting to. So you combine either the aura into unity, into Hinto, into the lovers, right? That's all about bringing opposites together. So it was beautiful. Thank you so much, Leanne. We feel really good. It's going to be there's a lot of, like, I'm pretty sure Kayleigh said this already, but lots of sensual, sacral, woman, divine feminine, like really like.
It was more sacral than root.
Yeah.
I think Mike makes her feel safe, so she's allowed to have that.
Yeah, really exploring that. It's beautiful.
If she wants to.
Right. Totally. The choice is yours as always. Take what resonates. In there. So the Kundalini codes and everything that. So when you're ready for that, just say allow it to come in. Even through your calling your keeper, your body elemental has all of that information. And when the time is right for you. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah. No, I see it. Thank you.
They thought about telling me a name and then
on your timeline. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe she can ask me. I'm not ready yet for a name. Okay.
Yeah, this is very like such a beautiful.
I think it's new for them. I think it's new for them to even like know.
Yes, I agree. So yours, it's going to be very gentle, very sensual, very like you're just gonna like be like washing your skin and be like, oh my god, my skin feels so good. Like that's
like shea butter or cocoa butter on and just
like really just getting
argan oil.
Yeah, like bathing yourself in that.
Maybe the olive oil that Mike's got.
Yeah, bathe it and lick it, or not, whatever you want. Thank you. Leonie, Yashukurtari.
Okay, I'm going to mute while I do this because I like talking to them.
Okay, so Leonie, today, you already know this. We're going to go right into your sacral and just finish that work. There's a lot of foundational stuff already there. It's tied directly into your sacral. You're like the most complete. It's crazy to me. I love it so much. Into the root. I'm really allowing. Oh, I understand. So this is going to be very Isis and Ellen of the Ways driven. We're going to bring some Kali energy in there to burn it all down, to kind of free you from the binds that tie you. Pieces of you have returned, I'm feeling, or coming back to you. We're in the middle of more than just one. So we're gonna put almost like a calling from your solar plexus. Once we've finished that and sealed it. In this moment, I'm actually going to ask you to step forth as well, energetically, along with your body elemental and your higher self. But Leonie is herself, should you choose to actively participate in this, and however that feels, either putting your hands on your body or coding or any of that, or just sitting and saying, I accept, to really be present, allowing yourself to feel through your breathing in your body. You are of the earth, of course, earth protector, earth keeper. Yeah, this time to move is close. It is going to be on one of the sanctuaries. So just allowing that this is just kind of really just preparing you. This is like really foundational, this work that you've been doing, especially in the past couple weeks, maybe 2 months. I don't know if your hands are on fire, but mine are. And I'm starting to get a little dizzy. So this is really a lot of you. So should you choose to want to come in and work with me, that would be so beautiful, and you can see how it's done, and then continue to do that work on your own. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself, and we can get started.
Okay, so you have 2 keepers that have come in. they really want you. The first one really wanted you to know you have this huntsman woodsman guy, and he actually gave me his name, Yorthan. So he really wants you to know he's there. And it's Yorthan, Yorthan. And he's there to remind you that you absolutely can connect with the earth elementals, the earth element, but to remind you that you also have the ability of fire. And if you were to work with, I don't know if you study runes or you know about runes, but the rune Kenaz was very much in my vision whilst I was in there, very strong. And Kenaz is all about, first of all, having the knowledge within your bones and accessing that and remembering like what we're made of within our body can absolutely what we're feeling in our body, our feelings, our sensations, bring us wisdom and knowledge. And we also have ancestral knowledge within our DNA. We also have knowledge literally within our bones. It's about how we get in and access that when we need to. Also, there was this sensation here and here, either side of this space, and it felt like your heart was open. Not dangerously so. There is an element of protection around it. And as I was in that space, there was a woman with like a bob cut, the sleek bob cut, and it was kind of half over one eye, and then this eye was very much in view. And she had the most gorgeous, deep green eyes. Oh, that color, kind of the color of that kind of, I don't know if you can see that. It's a very bright emerald green kind of color. Sorry, a deeper emerald green kind of color. And again, with that heart chakra, I feel like she sits there and protects your heart chakra, or she's there for support. I didn't see her whole body. I just saw her face, and she was very clear about this defined eyebrow that she has, and this green eye that is just there to kind of watch over your heart space. Like she is just focused on that. She doesn't have to tell me about what outfit she is or where she comes from or anything like that. She's just there to remind you that she is there to watch that come in, to watch over that area. She told me that avocados might be good for you in some way or some form. It was just avocados. That's all they told me. With regards to that huntsman, he then rocked back in again, and Yorthan rocked back in again, and he gave me a bow and arrow. And told me that you can have any path you choose if you wish to, and to remind you that it was a long bow rather than a crossbow, a long bow and arrow, the one that you pull back, to remind you that you can absolutely focus your arrow and fire yourself in any direction you want, and that sometimes we're pulled backwards. You pull an arrow back in order for it to fling forward quicker. So at the moment you're being pulled back. And when you start moving, it's going to move so quickly towards the target that you want to get to. And he's there to remind you that you already have the talents and the skills and everything within yourself, whether that's coding within you, knowledge within you, intuition within you, to get you to wherever it is you desire to go. And there is an element of what you desire within that. It's not just where you're supposed to. There's an element of choosing and choice. And focus. You can focus wherever you focus. You have the control. You're not the arrow, well, you are the arrow, but you're also the bowman as well, to make that even more confusing. Where you can direct it and take aim at whatever it is you want to focus on. The heart space, it was very warm around the edges. So I don't know if there's been some sort of friction within the heart space. It hasn't necessarily done major damage in the heart space, but there is this boundary requirement where friction has happened. But it does feel healthy. It doesn't feel like it's unhealthy in there. It's just that there is this friction around that area. And I say that and my boobs now feel really warm. But yeah, it's very much more secure feeling down below. Your Earth Star Chakra, I don't know what Alison's just gone and done, but that is feeling clearer, like it's going to start like a gutter on a building. I don't know if you guys have guttering over there, where it just starts falling down into off the roof. Any emotions are going to start coming down. They're not going to penetrate necessarily right through you, but it allows you to witness and allow it to run off.
Yeah.
any excess emotions, rather, or anything that comes, it will run off now and go down through this guttering through this root star, Earth Star. But yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah. Yeah, we just brought it all in, brought it all together. Really, at the end, it was like the rainbow came from the bottom and the top at the same time, and that in your heart space, and there was like an electrical charge, and that just kind of filtered through your whole system and changed colors as needed. I don't know if you are interested in working with either Artemis or Ellen of the Ways. But they both stepped forward. Diana, any of that? I feel like you said bow and arrow. Like
I did.
kind of,
Diana has a bow and arrow.
That was all in there. Very foresty. The travel is coming. I feel like you also were talking about like a ranger or something.
There was a woodsman. Yep.
The woodsman. That is also so that keeper, it can actually jump into the vessel of an actual human man and become that partner with you, should you choose that. That is one of your contracts. When you're ready. So we really just set the structure, just like Kayleigh was saying, allowing these just to come through. So there is a lot happening right now. You can feel the downloads. I can kind of feel your headspace. This is all going to like drain. The heart feels really good. Really the Arachne came in, and we wove a lot of golden web around that, just really keep you safe and protected as these things work. You're just going through a monumental change and doing that, and now this humanness is coming in. You're saying, yes, I want to be a human too. So you're just going to feel a lot of this release in that way. Like it really is, because you're saying yes to yourself, right? And you're saying, yes, I want to be a human. For sure, you're healing. My hands on fire. So doing that, and just keep seeing the sanctuary that you want to live at, and you'll be brought there in divine timing. I'm just, it's a warmer month is what they're telling me. So just keep this is like the hardest part of the journey.
When you said that, I wanted to burp. So yeah, it's definitely a warmer month.
Yeah. The power is returning to you. So even every day, if you wake up and say, I have the power within, the power is within me, putting that right on your solar plexus, right? And giving yourself that power every morning, like charging up like little batteries, like Wall-E. You go in the sun and be like, ding, right? That'll be helpful to you.
Oh, you've got a spider guide.
Yeah. Yeah. She's of the collective. Yeah.
If you get a tickling in your ear, it's your spider guide.
It's amazing.
You'll go like, oh no, that's a hair, and it's not. It's your spider guide trying to get you to listen to something or catch something, understand something. There's a message.
Yeah.
And that spider guide is No, the ranger guy is right on your shoulder. He just put his hand on my shoulder, like, I got you.
Yeah. It's good. You feel really good. Something's changed within your DNA. Is like something went click, click. So I don't know what work you've been doing recently in the last couple weeks, but it's really made a huge difference. You're really like you're having a big rebirth, and births are painful.
They are. It's labor.
Being a human is one of the bravest and hardest things we can do as a soul. So just know that you're in the right place, and keep trusting that, and that your soul family is here, and holding you, and that like it's only a little more. I know it feels like forever. I mean, it really, like when we're in it, it feels like forever. But I don't know if you've been reading about healing, or maybe looking into different healing modalities or something, to give your brain something to do to help move this energy for yourself, like whether that be Reiki or Adina, if you want to work with colors or any of that, to do some self-exploration. That feels really good. Okay, good.
I keep hearing defying gravity in my head.
Yeah, she's like, yes, that's the perfect. Maybe you should play that song. Maybe that can be your mantra for a little bit, that song. It feels really good. The power is returning. I don't know, Beltane's going to be important for you this next month, come May. It's going to be a big shift, warmer. And as it gets warmer, even so. Isis wants, yeah, any tantric lady, any independent, Anana, any of those women, Kali, the divine feminine, right? Hi everyone. Yeah, You can
Good.
feel it. Yeah. Just give yourself, take your hands, even if you just put them on your solar plexus, on your belly and your torso, and just, yeah. I just feel it coming, right? This is like, yeah, go ahead.
You'll feel the toxic stuff draining out your legs. If you feel sensations in your legs, it's the toxicity draining.
Yeah. Yeah, you're about to ready to give birth to yourself, girl. We'll be there to hold you. Just call us in energetically. Just say, come to me. Hold my arms, help me breathe. Hold my belly, hold my legs, right? Carry me. Just call us in. Call me in, at least. I can't speak for Kayleigh, sorry. But like the soul family itself, like the oversoul of us, right?
She knows she can call me in. It's fine.
Well,
I told her yesterday.
I try not to speak for you. So,
I know.
yeah. Even call our whole family in. They would love that. Okay. I'm going to get emotional. Thanks. Thank you so much. All right. Cindy.
Okay, I'm going to mute so I can talk to them again.
Great. So Cindy, for sure, we're going to be talking to your Kundalini. You are, love you too, Leonie. Thank you so much. Your body elemental really wants you to play with yourself. Like really get in touch with yourself, whether that's through dance or other activities, to really just to get to know your body again and to get reacquainted, because you could feel yourself changing at such a rapid pace, right? So it's just like a knowing, like once again, doing something very sensual for your body, like whether that being the oils in the hair or anything that speaks to you, taking a spa day, being covered in mud, even any kind of like water, if like a float tank or something. In that for just you, for no other reason than to just enjoy yourself being human. I mean, you've had a lot of work done already. So really just fine tune things, go in there. Yeah, your taste buds have been changing. So really, I think, yeah, we'll go in. Yeah. So this will be more of a physical thing. We're going to do some work on your bones structure, your structure of your bones, the lymphatic system, and really just get in it and go. This is going to be fast. This is actually going to be fast. It's not going to be sweet and comfy as normal, because you're kind of prepared, like your structure is prepared for it. So we're going to really reinforce that. Lots of work on your knees. We're just going to pull stuff out, really get you plugged in with your Earth Star, like really finish that work. Yeah, really come into your divine feminine. We're going to really turn that part of you on. So I don't know if you want to like take belly dancing or something, but yeah. And this will also tune you in further with the wisdom keepers and the healing work that you do with your whale and dolphin Reiki. This is going to hit you hard and heavy, girl. Can you feel them coming in? Okay, here we go.
Okay. You had two keepers, not guides. Why am I saying guides? They're not the guides, they're keepers. You have two keepers that come in, although I feel like they can interchange. It's a bit weird. They sit around your solar plexus, and your solar plexus felt not unhealthy, but it was such a deep yellow. It was somewhere between Hufflepuff gold and kind of like honey calcite or amber. It was the color of amber, and it was this deep, almost orangey yellow rather than the pure sunshine yellow or the lemon yellow. It was this deep amber, which felt actually really powerful and luxurious. And obviously amber is a preservation kind of, it's sap that obviously things get stuck in and preserved in that way. So I feel like these two Egyptians are here around you because there is a Egyptian past life to investigate or look into. And the man, you have a man and a woman, and the woman has very her hair is kind of to here, a bit like you know, the artist Sia, it's that kind of shape. That shape with that bob, that almost like triangular kind of bob. The woman is there, and she was telling me about that bumblebees and their medicine. And again, I think I heard Allison say about dancing. Bumblebees dance to communicate. They dance to tell each other where the hive is or what needs to be happening. So it could be that dancing is part of that. It's also an element of collectivity, connecting with others through that modality. And then they went, it's honey, but there's not the honey. You can absolutely eat honey, but there was something about milk and honey on its way to you, the beauty, the essence, the energy, the calmness of milk and honey. And I know that's kind of a biblical kind of reference as well, to have the being promised milk and honey. And you were also given, there was this pyramid, but it wasn't just a normal pyramid, it was a pyramid of pure fire. So again, allowing yourself to be passionate, allowing yourself to have those animalistic kind of drives and energies come through, but finding a way to harness them in a more healthy, tempered kind of way. And I don't mean tempered as in hot tempered, I mean that as in tempering, like tempering chocolate. You get the right balance, you get that sweet snap in the chocolate. It's about finding a way to harness that, and that feels a bit more like it's to do with shadow work, that there's an element of shadow work that to work through that animalistic kind of side and integrate that and welcome, because there is some aspect of your power that is within that animalistic fire energy, that maybe you need to harness. You were also given a dove and a palm leaf. So I know Easter's coming up, and obviously there's that whole story about Jesus walking through victorious, or was welcomed on palm leaves like he was royalty. And I feel like that's what it is. There's an element of celebrating your sovereignty and celebrating your power, the power that you have within you. People may have pushed you away because they feared it, and this is allowing yourself to have that, because you do come with pure intent and you do come with this divine energy within you, and that is to be praised. And I think as people encounter it, they fear it because it's palpable and they feel the depth of the power, and they feel that it comes from a really passionate place. But showing that you can express that in a healthy way, or project that in a healthy whole way. I feel like you're showing a new way to harness these energies to people, to teach them, to show them there's another way to have that and be unapologetic about it. But doing that with grace and this kind of divine energy around you, that dove come through with to bring the grace and that calming, healing energy. It's almost like you come to heal the fire. Maybe it is through dance, who knows, but it's about being sovereign and grace and kind of extraordinary, so that others, you're showing others they too can be extraordinary if they want to be. Oh, and also the man, there was an element of stonemason to him. So I don't know if again this is to do with having that he brings that solid grounding, and again carving that solid earth energy, and harnessing that as well in the physical realm, manifesting something. You can create something in the physical realm, or maybe you were a stonemason in that Egyptian life, to go back and investigate. But there was this very he had these callousy hands, like don't be afraid to work with your hands, if you need to graft, to carve, to hone skills if you need to, because that's what stonemasons do. They harness and hone their skills, they apprentice, they practice to refine it. Yep, done.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Really just going in super hot, super fast, recalibrating, really clearing out all the stuff. There's just things that your elemental just keeps saying, like, touch your body, like feel your body. That'll really help keep you in it. Get reacquainted. I heard you say milk and honey. So
Yep.
when that happened, I just literally saw like two cherubs pouring milk and honey all over you. So I don't know if you want to take a bath with like coconut milk or something, and then like drink tea with honey.
Yes, and put rose and geranium in that bath.
Yeah,
Rose
totally,
geranium.
for sure. Yeah, that Mary Magdalene.
Well, they told me rose geranium and I ignored it. So clearly you were supposed to say that before I did that.
Yeah, that'll really help. And when you're in that bath with that, all of those elements, I'm really putting your, oh yeah, Really putting that, putting your hands on your knees and really channeling all of those frequencies in the water, and allowing that. And then in that moment, the earth elementals came forward, and that's when they really are asking you when you're doing this work. As we set up the foundation for it, they really want to work with you, to come in and say, you know, I'd like to infuse the water with earth. And because what they're really asking for is you're kind of there to help bring the water energy into earth and up into the air, through the fire. That makes sense. So yeah, amazing.
I don't know if you get allergies, hay fever. If you get hay fever, get local honey from, because they obviously go on the local flowers and the local pollen. That's what they work with, and that will help your immune system to bolster against the local pollen, and so that will help with it has to be local honey though. It can't just be any kind of honey. It's the local honey, because
Yeah,
that's
very
the
specific.
local pollen that it works with. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, the bees. There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of bee energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Puppy.
So this is going to continue where this is for everybody who joined. Thank you so much. This is just the beginning of it. So you're going to feel it over the next couple weeks, probably through to the next full moon, quite honestly, maybe even further than that, depending on your journey. So just allow yourself to know that there's going to be emotional release and all kinds of stuff coming up. So please feel free to reach out. Should you have any questions or anything, if you're feeling like if there's a connection to it, we're definitely open to discuss that. This is like part one. We'll be doing another part one later. So anyone who's watching and feels called, this is like a series. And it's going to take its time, right? It's going to unfold as it is. So as Kayleigh and I are called to do that, we'll come together and we'll offer it. But this is something that continues for weeks after. So you're just we start it. And as long as you're saying yes to yourself and wanting this, it will continue. And really perfect. Great. Please feel free to reach out. Love y'all. You can find us, Magpie Moonchild, SaiYunaste. We're, you know where we're at. So holler at us. I'm excited. Please keep us posted.
Yep.
Broadcast. Yes. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you.